welcome to the Anything and Everything podcast with your hosts, Anna
and Slater.
Today we're going to be talking about anything and everything about
The
ocean.
That was very excited. What do you like with the ocean, huh? Anything recent?
So the reason why I picked this topic is because they actually found a yellow bricked road in the ocean. And I think that's very interesting that they found that because one, the Wizard of Oz, and also maybe the Wizard of Oz actually happened?
No way. That's just like, I don't know. Here's the thing. Didn't it take place in like what? What country? Not country.
Country? What
state?
country?
Which state?
So it took place in Kansas.
Okay, Kansas. But Kansas
then, like,
exist in the past?
What do you mean? This
Like the Kansas, like think
Kansas
about it.
was Kansas.
Well, here's the thing: is Kansas like how would the Wizard of Oz?
Kansas has been around for a while.
Yeah,
Like
like 300 years.
like at least more or less, yes. And the reason why. Oh wait, what? Wait. The Yellow Brick Road is
Yeah.
in the land of the Munchkins.
Okay, yes.
So it's not in Kansas. It's in a different
Okay, but
universe.
here's the thing: I feel like they. Okay, all right, but here's okay. I see where you're going with this. The different universe under the sea.
That's like it could be. Oh my God, Atlantis.
Well,
Atlantis
okay.
is no, you don't know. You don't know. Atlantis could be
yeah.
real.
It could.
Because if
Honestly,
we found that,
if it's like what mosaics and whatnot, like is it like an actual like kind of like road, so to speak?
So from the picture that I saw on the article, it showed like just like a part of it that was I guess like discovered. I was gonna say unearthed, but it's not really. You can't really you can't really unearth it. But discovered.
Okay.
I guess you could, but it could
Like was it on
disintegrate.
like the sea bed?
Yes, it was on the sea floor.
Like was there any like excavation going on?
Yes,
there?
I think
Okay.
so. I think they actually hold on, let me look this up. They did like clear away stuff.
Okay. So they found it under sand.
They found it in the ocean, like actually like in
Like
I
in
guess,
the sand.
I guess
On
so.
the
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
In the ocean, on the floor.
Yes. Hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You gotta find it.
Okay, here's the image, and we'll pop it on screen too.
Yeah.
That's the image.
Okay. Where was? Do you know where in the world it was?
Hawaii.
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 Isn't that like around the area Atlantis was, or is that Atlantic Ocean?
No, it's the Hawaii. I believe is the Pacific Ocean.
Well, yeah, that is correct. I was just wondering
Where they might have found it?
Like, was Atlantic like rumored to be an Atlantic Ocean or around Hawaii area?
Let me look.
Or maybe we're just completely wrong about where Atlantis was the entire time, and we've been looking in the wrong area.
I looked up where the Yellow Brick Road was found. It said Hawaii, the
Okay,
northern
alright,
islands of
alright.
Hawaii.
It's so fascinating, you know. Just to find who knows what could be down in the rest of the ocean because it's like what 5% of the ocean's found.
No, literally, we have not discovered a lot of the ocean.
Yeah.
We stopped at one point discovering the ocean, in which the ocean, yes, is huge.
It is.
But then we decided to do space, which space is even, infinite. Space is basically infinite at this point.
Yeah, by technicality. It's a frightening thought.
It is. And the thing is, we stopped exploring the ocean to go explore the infinite amount of space.
Well,
so
also,
that means
here's the thing.
There's a theory.
A game theory?
That's just a theory. A game theory.
A game theory.
But no, there's a theory that says that when people were exploring the ocean, they found something so horrific that they stopped exploring it and they just...
Like the bloop. You ever heard about the bloop?
No. The bloop?
Okay, so the bloop is like this... it's not real.
Oh, is it like an
From
SCP?
what we understand... No, it's not SCP.
Okay.
From what I understand, it's not real.
Okay.
Because our leading theory is that... Well, no, not the leading theory. The leading fact is that the sound we connected to the so-called bloop to be bigger than a blue whale.
Mhm.
Is actually just so there was like this audio file, or I said audio file, but a sound.
Oh wait, I know what you're talking about. That mysterious sound that they heard.
A sound that
Oh
like,
yeah.
and
Okay,
that like it's like really loud sound that no current animal we know in existence can make it.
Mhm.
It was actually glaciers in the Antarctic. It's
Oh?
it's kind of like saddening to hear that because you think it's something really cool. But
It was glaciers.
Mhm.
How the fuck did they make that noise?
I'm not the scientist here.
Like, I know, but like, I understand if they hear like scraping, because like scraping up against the glacier, or if they hear like something drop into the water.
Mhm.
But like bloop.
That's what so the bloop is what they called it.
Bro.
Well, at least what humanity called it, not the scientists. But a lot of like fiction came out of the bloop. A lot of like kind of like you have mythical creatures that are like leviathans or whatnot that are like they are correlated with the bloop. I've seen like people say the bloop is like the way I can imagine it myself is like this. It's a giant manatee almost with the schnoz of a.
With the schnoz.
With the schnoz
the
of a
schnoz of an anteater.
The nose, like mouth of an anteater. You know, that's why I imagine it looking like. I'll find a picture of him putting on screen.
Yes.
But the bloop is like, I kind of influenced more like what could be down in the ocean. Could really this big of aquatic life actually exist?
Mermaids.
They're not real. Listen.
No, they are. I'd like to believe that they are. You don't know.
Oh yeah?
There was a documentary.
Give me your evidence.
Documentary.
Is that enough though? What's the name of it?
I don't remember, but I can look it up.
If it was a real, tell me the name of every mermaid in existence.
Ariel.
What does
Melody.
Who's that?
Ariel's Ariel. Wait, how do you spell Ariel?
Wait.
Okay. So Ariel, and then she has a daughter, I think named Melody.
What?
Yeah,
wait,
you didn't know about that?
I do know about that one.
It was in the second movie,
Oh.
and she had a kid with Prince Eric.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there is King Triton and Queen Athena, her parents, and then there's all her sisters. So, and all the mer people in I think it's like Atlantis or some shit that's in the movie. But Atlantis!
Okay, hold on.
We're going too deep here, guys.
Conspiracy theories about the ocean.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that's just what we're going off on a tangent about.
Yes, we are.
But I remember when think about when megalodons existed. Like back in like hundreds of thousands of years ago, there was all these the ancient sea life like Mosasaurus and like
ancient sea life is like scary.
Oh, exactly. Now think about if that still existed today.
I would never step foot. No, doesn't it though?
I
think there is like 100 or more than like a billion-year shark at one point.
Well,
I think it's still alive.
Maybe the shark, but none of those. All those creatures are extinct as we know right now. Mosasaurus are like huge. Like, have you ever seen Jurassic World? Those are big creatures, right? They can't. Like, I think aquatic life kind of like died off in size. Like, they fell off in size over the course of time, except for like deep sea creatures. I'll get into that. Okay, what you want to say?
Deep sea creatures are so scary looking.
Okay, you know what? I want to build on that. There's some phenomenon called deep sea gigantism, which means the deeper you go, the bigger the creatures get. Have you ever seen like the giant ocean spiders on the floor? Yeah, that's an effect of deep sea gigantism.
They are like an arachnophobic person's worst nightmare.
Oh yeah.
I said that right? They're arachnophobic.
You got the point across, you know. But I saw those when I was a child. When I was like, yay high.
Yay high.
You know, I was like, yay high. I saw this on TV,
Mhm.
and I was horrified to go into the ocean for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I grew up with the ocean. Like, I used to. I'm like half Ecuadorian, half Puerto Rican, and I would go to like Puerto Rico all the time when I was a kid. Like during the summer, we had like a little house over there from family because like people passed away. We got the house, blah blah blah. Like that kind of thing.
Right.
And we would see family, and we would go in the ocean all the time. And like there was like sea creatures and stuff. There was a spider, like a underwater spider.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like a bigger daddy long leg.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
They're scary as hell. Like I remember, so there's a couple things I did over there. There's like this game that a lot of the, I don't say a lot of the locals play, but some of the like kids play.
Okay.
And I used to play it all the time. Where basically we were at the Lighthouse Beach, which is near Arecibo in Puerto Rico. I forget if it's in Arecibo or if it's in the next town. But long story short, it's the Lighthouse Beach because there's a lighthouse on the beach. Self-explanatory. And so they had like a little posita, which is like, I don't know how to explain it. You just gotta know it.
Okay.
Like it's like a bunch of rocks are separating you from like the main ocean, and then like a little bit of water that comes over the rocks into like the little ocean that you have for yourself, but it doesn't go into the main ocean.
Yeah, I understand that. It's like kind of like a pool, a little pool.
Yeah, and like the water comes over and everything. It's like we call it a posita. But I remember the ocean would be so rough sometimes to the point where the water would come up and drag you. Ooh. It was so bad. Like I got dragged really badly once because of how turbulent it was. I had to get saved by a lifeguard. It was so bad. But anyway, long story short, I was playing this by myself. I actually have a lot of stories about this specific game, but the one that I'm telling right now, I was playing it and I grabbed onto the rocks, because what you do is you grab onto the rocks with all your might, and as the wave of like water from the ocean outside, like from the open ocean outside, would come over, and then it would like, it's kind of like getting hit with waves.
Right.
And then you would feel that rush, you know what I mean? So I was playing on the rocks, feeling that rush, and as I looked under, I see like two of them, at least like one or two of them, going under the rocks, and I was like, this is fine. And I was like grabbing onto the rocks,
It's like, the image of like the dogs in the room with all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's fine. Everything's okay.
Like, literally, I was so scared, and once, like, the wave passed, I went up, and I was just like, okay, time to go back on the sand.
Home.
Time to, like, get up and go. But that's, like, one of the stories I have. I have some, like, other interesting stories, but that's, like, for another day.
I mean, I remember, so I have something kind of similar. I was at a beach somewhere in New Jersey. I want to say Point Pleasant, roughly area.
Point Pleasant's not bad.
And we're on the beach. We have a hotel next to us, so we're staying there. But we're on the beach, and it's like later in the day. And I don't know how this happened to me. Well, I got hit by a wave, and I was like stuck in the actual wave part.
Oh shit!
It just tumbled me. It tumbled me to the sand.
That happened to me a couple times too. Like, it's scary though, because you don't know what direction you're going in. You don't know where you're going.
Yeah, no, I was doing like flips in the water.
And then like you finally get released onto the sand, and you're like, like you're like dying.
No, I actually was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That was cool. That was silly.
I will say, after I like hyperventilated for a good few seconds, that I was like, okay, again.
Okay, but the way I have that memory is that I was in that. I don't know if this is like my memory just failing me, but the way I always remember is that I was stuck in there for like an hour.
It always feels like it,
that's
doesn't
it? That's how I felt.
But it's not. It
was only like a few seconds at most.
Probably, maybe like 30 seconds at like.
No.
Not even. No, like.
No more than 15.
Yeah.
No more than 15.
But like it feels like that because
like an eternity.
You're like trying to survive. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like your body's like.
I think I was like 6 at the time.
Oh my god.
And then my uncle was staring at me. I was like, "You good, bro?"
You okay, dude?
Yeah, I'm fine. I have sand cover my entire body.
No, literally, oh my god. I love the beach, I love swimming, I love all of that, but I hate going back home and you bring the entire beach with you in your swimsuit.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like you literally like take it off to go to the shower and it's just like.
Oh my god, wait, okay. So I just came home from Maryland not that long ago.
Yeah.
And even after I like, they have like the things to rinse your feet off after you get off the beach.
Yeah.
I was delegated to carrying everything off the beach for my mom. Because we always stayed till late. Because my mom wanted to.
That must have sucked having to carry everything.
I'm carrying 2 chairs and her bag that's full of all her stuff, basically.
Oh my god.
Right? And the chairs are like, they're like the bottom of it's pressed on my back, and then the sand is just on my back, pounding on and like shaking off onto my feet. So even after I rinsed off my feet, I'm going back up to I'm bringing it up anyways. We had to sweep off all the sand back outside on the last day.
Oh my god, that must have, like, don't get me wrong, I love the beach, I will always love it, I will always be like an island girly, but having to deal with the sand, oh.
As Anakin once said, it's coarse, rough, and gets everywhere.
Yep.
Why do you look at me like that?
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah.
What?
You don't know what that is?
Yes, I do know what it is. It's from the Goofy video, right?
I don't even know.
What do you mean you don't know? When he was on trial, you remember that video? And they're like, "Are you gonna do it again?" Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
But I want to go back to like the deep sea gigantism because also like
yes.
you know like isopods. You know what isopods are?
Yes.
Okay, so there's like, I think I don't know if they're exactly what we call roly-polies. But like that's an example because there are insects like on land, but then there's the aquatic versions, the deep sea ones that are like huge. They're like, and I mean, a few years ago might be actually an understatement. There was the whole it's isopod hour or whatever, isopod hour. Let your isopods roam free.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, I think it was like when I was in middle school.
I don't know why they were like saying that. Like I understand like the whole isopod in the ocean thing, but I was like, are people owning these things?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, people own them as pets sometimes.
Why?
Because I don't know, they're just silly. I mean, the internet really made them like turn into like the silly creatures for the week.
Oh yeah, let's hope one doesn't bite me.
They don't bite.
No?
They don't.
No, I would be too scared to own one, to be honest.
I mean, it's the same thing as like kind of like a horseshoe crab.
Oh really?
Horseshoe crabs, they look like they could do damage to you, but they're harmless. Completely harmless.
Yeah.
So if you ever see one flipped on their back, you should always go help them.
Yes.
Because they can't get back up on their own usually.
Help creatures, guys.
And it was really interesting that they have their little tail. I'm doing like I'm doing like a little position thing, like I'm like, you know.
I know what you mean.
Well, I'm acting it out, like I'm doing like.
Guys, Slater's acting out a fucking horseshoe crab.
Yeah, I'm a Pictionary, a horseshoe crab right now.
Oh my god.
But those they're also like I went to Atlantis the hotel.
Yeah.
In the Bahamas.
Oh yeah.
And there's an aquarium there because of course it's like an aquatic themed hotel.
Yeah.
And there's horseshoe crabs. And you can like go pet them. You actually can go pet them.
You can pet them.
You can pet them. But their tails, people think that it'll do damage to you. It won't. It won't do damage.
Like it doesn't like
sting?
poke you or something. No.
Doesn't poke. Doesn't sting. Which
their only defense mechanism is like their shell.
Kind of. They don't really. They got. Of course, they have claws, but they don't have like the crab claws that you typically see on the crab. Now, like, don't get too close. We're gonna take your finger off.
No, some crabs have like the craziest like claw
like the pressure is like they can rip anything off of your body.
I know, and that's so scary. Like I was always worried about like toes. As a kid.
Okay.
Like getting like a crab to like you know claw through it. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I've had that happen to me a few times.
Really? I've never had. I've had the luckiness of not having.
So
ever done it.
that's I'm talking like on the New Jersey beaches too.
Oh my
Specifically,
god.
well, actually, I think it was Maryland. Sorry, Chica's in the kitchen right now. Having a pots and
For
pans.
anybody who may have not heard that,
I don't think that.
we heard like something in like the laundry room or pantry room, and it just sounded weird. And then Slater's like, "Don't worry, Chica's in the
Chica's in the kitchen. Because that's what it sounds like in the pots and pans.
No, it does. I was like, "What the hell?"
You're like, what? I just go through someone back and
Oh
like.
my! The ghosts come back. They're like, "Oh, Slater's here. Time to shine."
Yeah, time to shine.
Oh my god.
Oh. But there's, you know what's really scary?
What?
Mantis shrimp.
I've heard of them. Wait, are
Okay.
they the ones with the really long appendages?
No.
Okay, never mind. I've
Those
heard of them.
are you of king crabs?
No, I think I'm thinking of something else.
Okay, mantis shrimps are horrifying. And the fact that they're small, they look like they're harmless, but they have one of the strongest punches from size to strength.
Oh, that's
capabilities.
right. Yes, yes, yes.
So like, I've heard they can dent metal.
I've heard that too.
And just think about just being a fish, right? And you just, I say walk up to it. You swim up to it. You swim up to this
I love how I fucking burped and fucking laughed at the same time.
They swim up to
We gotta cut that out. Please cut that out.
I have all the power.
No! Please cut that out. That is so embarrassing.
But
I really laughed and burped at the same time. Fuck my life.
I do that sometimes. It's okay.
Please cut it out.
I'll
I
cut it
beg
out.
you. Oh yeah, the fish. The fish walks up to the.
Yes, the fish take a little gander at the rainbow shrimp on the ground. And like,
Yes.
oh, look at this cool. Look at, you know.
No, literally, it's like
they
One
get-
Punch Man of like the ocean. What?
That's funny.
What?
But it's true.
One
I just
Punch
wasn't
Man
expecting
of
that
the
analogy.
ocean.
I wasn't expecting that analogy at all.
No.
No.
I shouldn't say that. I was about to say I'm a connoisseur. I am not
Anime
a connoisseur.
connoisseur?
I am not. Let's make that abundantly clear. I am.
You are not an anime
Okay, anybody who didn't hear that, there was a normal noise that happened in my basement that happens all the time because of all the like stuff down here, like the heater and whatnot.
connoisseur.
And Slater just made like the most like Scooby Doo esque like
Zoinks!
like this the most Scooby Doo esque like face, and he looked and he was like and I was like, it's fine.
I think.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
That's really
There's
good.
a ghost of some kind here. Next thing you know, we look our heads away from one of these things, we turn back around, then one of them's gone, and then there's just a
Oh my
walking
God.
shirt just going around.
He's like, hey dude. No, be like, hola. Oh my god.
You know, okay. I want to dive into, pun intended,
Dive into? Ah, yes.
some I guess fictional ideas that people thought of. So
Let's hear him.
one thing that I was kind of fascinated by
Mm.
is this thing called Iron Lung, not the machine.
Oh, I was about to say.
But
I was
there's
about to say.
There's a game called Iron Lung, and the general premise of it is you're the last survivors on the universe, trying to find sources for
Mm-hmm.
survival amongst all the dying stars in reality, essentially. And you're going into the depths of this blood ocean.
Is this a theory?
No, this is a game.
Oh,
It's
wait,
not a game theory,
wait,
it's a game.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Is this the submarine game?
I mean, technically, Yes.
Where like one person goes in and then like some scary shit happens.
I guess you could say that. Yes.
I think I know what you're talking about. Oh my god.
So for game purposes, but also like I guess death purposes,
Yeah.
they have to weld the thing shut so you can't leave it.
Mhm.
And also,
Don't you just
the
love
main
that?
window outside,
Mhm.
they close it because the pressure of the blood ocean will crack the glass.
Mhm.
So then you're just going around, just have to go through coordinates to map yourself around the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And then occasionally you take pictures of certain anomalous things, and then you see this giant fish with like, and like it looks like this menacing fish that's off in the distance, and like people get jump scared by that.
Yeah.
Or not really jump scared, but like some people don't even notice it. I will be honest.
Some people don't. Oh
But
yeah, I just
one thing
don't
that
know.
everyone does is that they'll always take a second picture and then that thing's gone.
Damn. Imagine not noticing the horror fish.
The horror fish. Now, there's some games where you have to. Okay, you know, you know how scary. Okay, I'm going on a tangent, but you know how scary you know this.
Sorry guys, we're in my house,
Okay.
so it's a little
So-
noisy.
You know, the ocean's scary when people make horror films out of it.
Yeah.
But that's my tangent.
That just that.
Yeah.
Just that statement.
But like people, that's how I guess people also make games like this.
Yeah.
The idea of not being able to see the creature that's like haunting you or
Oh
following
yeah.
the whole
Or
time.
even like knowing that when you're on land, you have oxygen. Obviously.
Yeah.
You have oxygen. Blah,
Well,
blah,
if
blah,
something
blah.
goes down when you're down there,
But like you're screwed.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
you only
exactly.
have like what, 5 minutes before you start drowning? Not even.
I'm sorry.
Is it 5 minutes? Because then like your lungs fill and
Oh, I didn't even know I could. I don't know. I thought I drowned in like a minute.
so no. Like when you I hate to say this, but when you drown, unfortunately, it is silent. A lot of people think it's like people are like thrashing around.
Right.
Sometimes it could be, but that's more like if you're lucky.
Because that's how
Drowning.
it's fast.
Yeah, like
Because then you'll
drowning.
lose the energy to move or something.
Yes, and that's the other thing. Like you could be trying to like get out and stuff, but like one, you're running out of your own air in your lungs. Like
That's gonna make you lose oxygen faster by
Mhm.
thrashing around.
And also being like panicked, which anybody would be. And on
Mhm.
top of that, then your lungs start filling with water, and then from there you end up drowning. You
Right.
basically inhale water.
Right.
That's how you drown.
Which is
Which is
horrible. way to say it.
horrifying.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Horrible.
Which, if you're down that deep, there's
Yeah, you're kind of just like accepting fate at
it
that
makes
point.
people who like explored the Mariana Trench.
Mhm.
They went down there.
Mhm.
Like a piece of glass on the submarine cracked when they reached the bottom.
Oh shit! That's how much
And-
pressure's down there.
But here's the thing:
Ooh.
if that cracks and like breaks,
You're done.
exactly. You're. I don't know how long it took for them to get down there. Maybe 8 hours.
Yeah,
Maybe probably more.
probably. But could you imagine going in a submarine for 8 hours? You need to eat. You need to work on stuff. You
Yeah.
need to use the bathroom. Like, how do you
Mhm.
even? I couldn't.
Now it's been a few years from this, but you kind of think about like, what was it, the Titan submersible?
Mhm. Oh yes, yes.
So,
Okay.
Okay. You
can
seem,
I-
Yeah,
may
you seem
I?
excited.
So first off, I understand you want to see the Titanic, but no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
no,
but
absolutely
like,
not.
I don't care how rich you are. I don't care if it was you got invited. Ain't no way I'm going.
Well, okay. It would have been a good idea if
But
it was a submarine, not a submersible.
the thing is, the submersible also had gone out on adventures before, which so a little fun fact, if you take something out multiple times, especially to go under immense pressure, over time things will weaken and it
Right.
can end up like imploding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened to the Titan?
Titan submersible.
Yeah. That's what happened to it, is that it had gone out a couple times, people still thought it was safe, and it wasn't because of how many times it's gone out, I guess. And so
Like to the
it just-
Titanic, or was that the first time it's going to the Titanic?
I'm not sure if it was to the Titanic for the first time or what, but
Because I'm pretty sure that's because the Titanic is deep.
the Titanic is very deep.
So
I just know that the submersible had gone out multiple times prior,
Right.
and because of that and the pressure, it can implode on itself. If it was
Mhm.
brand new, just made and tested, great. But also, I think another thing is that it was remote controlled by like a controller, like
And
by
I
an
think
actual
it's like
gaming
I
controller.
think it's 1x1 in the Xbox controller. Which, if I saw that, I would have been like, keep my money.
No.
I'm going.
I would have been like, can I have a refund? Like,
No, at that point, I won't even mind. You can have my money.
like I'm sorry, but like I get that you want to see the Titanic. I think that's really cool to be able to see it underwater
Mhm.
because we can't bring it up because it'll just disintegrate.
Right.
But like at the same time, until technology gets advanced enough that we can actually like do stuff like that,
Right.
absolutely not. Like I'm sorry, but like we can take pictures underwater. Just
Yeah.
give me those pictures.
Now, the fortunate thing, which is very unfortunate to say that this is the fortunate thing,
Mm.
it was like at least a fast death. And not like
I hope
drowned.
it was.
No, because here's what happens: that it imploded, right?
Yes.
No sign of it imploding beforehand, by the way.
Yeah.
There's no creaking, no nothing. All it was that, you know what happens in an implosion?
Yeah, it just kind of.
Yeah, it condenses in on itself,
Mhm.
essentially. And then at such force that it goes into
Like
each other
that.
and then onto the other side almost.
Yes.
So,
I hope it was. I hate to say that, but I hope it was a quick death.
oh no, it has to be.
It probably was, but theoretically, let's say that one of them survived that horrible thing.
They're like lasting another 5 minutes.
Then they're lasting like not even 5 minutes
Oh, yeah.
because the body at that
2
point
minutes,
is like
maybe 1 minute.
maybe. I feel horrible for the people. Like okay, I'm a little like on two sides. Like
Okay.
I feel bad that those people died. They shouldn't have died.
Right.
But at the same time, they paid money to go on this thing.
Yeah.
They knew the risks, or at least they knew that something could happen.
Right.
And
Okay, except for I want to bring.
like, yeah,
It seems like you don't know this fact.
what?
One of them was someone's kid
Oh yes, there was somebody.
that they went on. They didn't want to go on it.
Yes.
They just went on because it was Father's Day.
Yes. I mean, most of the people, at least the adults, is what
Right.
I'm saying. I believed and I hoped.
Well, the kid
Were
was still like,
informed.
I say kid, it was just.
Like it was like a
They're
young
an
adult.
adult,
Yeah. But like, I just feel bad because it's like, first off, leave this stuff to the professionals. Second off, I feel like this is also kind of like I just feel like they shouldn't have done it. Like no matter how much money
Yeah.
you have, don't do something that is so risky.
Uh huh.
Like I feel bad that they died. Don't get me wrong. I wish that didn't happen, but at the same time, like that's kind of on you.
Mhm.
Like I'm not trying to say that to be mean. I'm not trying to like anything, but like to be honest, like that's on you. You paid money.
Right.
You decided to do that, even knowing the risks. You brought someone who's young too.
Mhm.
Like that is literally on you.
Yeah, and it's like.
Like again, they shouldn't have died.
Yeah.
I wish everything went well, but
Mhm. If they saw it, that would have been awesome. But
that's
imagine they just get down there and it's just already nighttime and they can't see a thing.
that would have been horrible. No, they probably had a flashlight or something on that
Obviously,
thing.
probably.
That would have been horrible though. Just imagine like,
Don't look at me like that.
are you dying?
No.
Okay, good. Anyway, do we want to say last final thoughts?
I think I got all my ocean out of me right now.
Ocean out of you?
Yeah, my ocean's
Do I need to stick a needle and just like
Yeah.
poke your skin to get all the water out of you? That sounds wrong.
I'm not a balloon.
Guys, just so you know,
New weight.
Slater hasn't eaten anything and I'm hungry for dinner. And we're a little delusional right now.
new weight loss technique.
No! No! Guys, I can't. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
1
Yo.
1 1 1 1. Oh, I mean, if it was what?
Alright, guys.
I think it's time to wrap it up.
I think it is. Alright, so thank you for watching the Anything and Everything podcast.
Tune in next time for there's more chaos to come.
Yeah!